good example of no, I read an article on Alex the Kid that he was talking about him earlier, and he said that when he got in the game, like he was trying to work on everything. Like anything that anybody would say yes to, he was trying to work. And then it got to the point where he did Rihanna, Eminem, Dr. Dre, to where he's turning everything down and only working on the projects that he wants to work on. And then if you can see, he had an artist on deck, Skylar Grey, and he just finished her whole album. Like think about how he set that up, that's genius. She's ready to go, she's a star. She's been on all the hooks. And he's about to make all that money off of her. Whether she sells like nothing or not, he's still gonna make a check. And that's what I mean, like when you say no, you gotta be strategic about what you say no to. Sometimes you gotta go with a passion project. Sometimes you gotta go with a project that's gonna put money in your pocket now, so you can do your passion project. Because you can be prideful and hold on to it, like, well, I just wanna work on what I love, but you're gonna be difficult. You gotta be smart, you gotta use your heart. You gotta really like, use your discernment and your gut.
Yeah, gut feeling, like, it's just certain things you can't tell me to say in the song. Like, I'm just not gonna say that, like, you know what I'm saying? Or for when you're making beats, or, doing your production style, handling business, or if you're on the executive side, like, it feels weird, it's probably weird.
Yeah. Like, in my situation, going into a publishing deal and feeling that pressure and expectation to just always deliver and perform, you feel like you have to do everything. You feel like, oh my gosh, am I gonna jeopardize this situation if I don't do it? Is this person not gonna like me or feel like I'm not willing to do all that it takes to, be the next Esther Dean or whoever, you know what I mean? But like you really, like they said, you really have to do what makes you happy and just stay true to who you are, as corny as that sounds, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna be happy even if the song is on the radio. You're gonna be humiliated, or you know what I mean? Because like, if you can't play it for your mama, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like it's just not really the greatest feeling. So it depends what you want out of this. Do you want the money? Do you want the notoriety? Or do you want happiness and the feeling of knowing that you stay true to yourself and didn't compromise? So it's the easy answer.
And just to her last, like, you have to really ask yourself the question of what are you doing it for? If you're doing it for money, it takes a long time before you get the money. So let's start there. If you're doing it for fame, there's better ways to get famous very fast. You know what I'm saying? You really have to make a decision on what's your motivation for it. Because if your motive is money, you spend most of your career or the early parts of your career not making it. And if you're making it, you're not making it fast enough. Or you feel like you're not making enough of it. So you're if it's about money, you're gonna always feel like, yo, my check needs to be bigger. What I gotta do to make my check bigger? Now you're falling into that. And if you wanna be famous, okay, how many cameras do you need, on you to make yourself feel like you've arrived? You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why for me it's so important to, when I talk to people or when I mentor or just when I give advice, my first question is, what are you doing it for? There is no price on happiness. I don't care how much money you make. There's a lot of people with a lot of money in this music industry who are miserable. And you have to decide, what are you willing to sacrifice? If you're willing to sacrifice happiness, you can do that. But if you're not willing to do it, you can be happy, make money in this industry, not screw nobody over, not get over on nobody, and win.